Welcome to another video, A Walk with Phil, and today I'm in OLDBURY Town Centre, and I thought what I'd do is have a look around OLDBURY Town and see if we can picture how it used to be. First thing we've got to say about OLDBURY Town, OLDBURY itself, funny enough, it's now part of Sandwell, but prior to that, in the very early days, OLDBURY used to be part of Shropshire. It was in the ancient parish of Aylesowing in Shropshire, and that's why we've got an Aylesowing Street just down the bottom in the town. In 1844 it did become part of Worcestershire, and then it merged with Smethwick and Rowley Regis to become Whalley in 1966. Thus, and in 1974 it finally became part of Sandwell, which effectively was West Bromwich and Whalley, and their powers was transferred from Worcestershire to the West Midlands, Council. But West Midlands was scrapped effectively in 1986, and so now it's part of Sandwell Council. Yeah, and Sandwell's main headquarters are actually here in OLDBURY. I'll just pan you around here to the left. I'm actually on Church Lane, and there's a couple of houses here. Steel House. Well, just ahead there, where all the cars are coming up, we've got the OLDBURY Ringway now. It's been created, but this is Church Street that used to run along there to Bromford Road down the bottom. But this is the Steel House on the corner. Another big old house here, and another big old house here. But I don't know what they actually do. I've got no real memories of OLDBURY at all. Here on the corner of Wesley Road is the old Wesley Chapel here, built in 1853, still got the date at the top. Just ahead of me we've got the oldest house in OLDBURY apparently, built in 1705. It's called the Big House. It was owned by William Freeth, and there's a street named after him. He owned lots of land in OLDBURY. In fact, this house used to be on this plot of around 7 or 8 acres of farmland. Yeah, I think it belongs to the council now. I think it's had a bit of restoration to it, done to it. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it was converted to offices many years ago. Here on Wesley Street. Down the bottom there is a school, bottom of Wesley Street, and there's a local branch of Subway here on my left. Yeah, and just over to the other side of the road we've got Subway. It's a new build, fish and chip shop next to it. There's a house here, I don't know what that one does. And we've got a few pubs in OLDBURY. There's a lot of fuss made when the Wetherspoons came along and wanted to turn the Court of Requests into a pub. It was built in around about 1807. This building, and it was a court for recovering of small debts of up to, I believe, £5. Perhaps £5 was a lot of money back then. And then in 1890 it became a police station, and the cells, I believe, still exist. If you go down that passage there, the cells at the back. And it became a library in 1979. Yeah, before the library moved to purpose-built building ahead there, a blue frontage, that's where the library moved to. In fact, it's not there any longer, it's now moved to the council house itself. And just ahead of me there is a very old pub, the Wagon and Horses. Very fine old pub that's been there quite some time. Market Street passage there. You've got the Court of Request Wetherspoon pub, you've got the Wagon and Horses pub there, one of the original pubs around here in OLDBURY. I don't know what that is, it's a recruitment centre of some sort, just lying back off the main road. Estate agent Tom Giles there, and we've got another pub here called the White Swan, recently refurbished. quite a bit of money, I believe. $250,000's been spent on that to get it up to standard, the old White Swan. And we've got a few shops here. The job centre there on the corner. Now if we look to our right now, as I said, I don't know Oldbury before Sainsbury's was constructed, but all around here there'd all be shops and houses, and there's the frontage of the Sandwell Council headquarters. The library's in there, and it's all paved and quite smart actually. Just on the left there, I think we can sort of point it round about there. There used to be a cinema called the Palace. Yeah, the Palace. Originally it was opened in 1910, and it was known then as the Cosy Picture Palace, and then it became the Premier when it opened in 1917, and then it became the New Palace in 1928. They showed the last film in 1961 before it became a bingo hall, and yeah, and it was demolished in around, well, it was demolished in the late 70s. So, this, I believe, used to be the town hall of, I think it now houses the Citizens Advice Bureau. Yeah, this foundation stone was laid by Mrs. Alfred Thompson, who was the wife of the chairman of the Oldbury Local Board, on the 19th of May 1890. Okay, there you go. You've got the cenotaph there in the middle of this very wide pedestrianised area, which has now slowly been taken over by market stalls just ahead. Yeah, there's Sainsbury's now. Originally, when it was built in the late 70s, it was called Saver Centre, an outlet of Sainsbury's, and yeah, it saved the economic fortunes of the town apparently, but in the process it knocked down many buildings and a lot of Oldbury heritage was lost. Okay, so there's Owen Street to my right, where almost the buses stop these days. And Birmingham Street ahead, and that was where the main hub of retail activity used to take place in the very early days of Oldbury. Let's take a look down there. Okay, so on the corner there we've got a newsagent's. That newsagent's been there a while now. And that coffee break shop there is, I think that used to be a chemist. I think it was a chemist. And Fashion File, no, there was a Fashion File, that was a clothes shop for a very long time. Very long time. But sadly that's gone. Yes, opticians and hair and beauty salon, chip shop. There's a convenience store there, another estate agents, and TSB Bank on the corner. Of course, this is the most famous part of the unchanging part of Oldbury, is this place, the Junction. I think it was the Talbot Hotel back in the turn of the century. The Junction pub, it's now looking worse for wear. It really does need now some upgrade, some bit of painting and decorating. I think it's in a pretty poor state, but it's still a pub. That's the main thing. It's still a pub. Okay, just over there is the TSB Bank. Used to be the Birmingham Municipal Bank before then. And there's the TSB. Ahead of me there is now something called Kingdom Life Apostolic Chapel now ahead of me. This used to be Christ Church, and it was built in 1841 with its big bells there in the tower that no longer used. And yeah, we're going to have a look down the back there. We're going to have a look down this street. This is Church Square. There's a small hotel here on the right, Domo. It looks like it was a big house once converted. Yeah, there's the main entrance to the church, the Kingdom Life Apostolic Chapel. Here, just behind the church, these used to be the parish rooms, built in 1913. They look as though they're all being upgraded now into flats. Yeah, the parish rooms were used for church activities. They were sold in about 1986, and they raised them. They sold them because they wanted the money to do the restoration on the church. There's a very old property here. Doesn't it look very old? It looks very old, with this very old original door and such like. What's it called? Church view. Let's have a look. Has it got a view of the church? Yes, it has. Just beyond all these trees. Well, it says it's a dental surgery. Probably is. Yes, it is a dental surgery. Looks a very dirty place. NHS accepting new patients. But somehow it just looks as though it needs a lick of paint or something, don't you think? I mean, let's see the dental surgery. Look at this. It isn't exactly hygienic. You look at the door. I know it's old, but you know, the money they make sometimes, you think they could just get a tin of paint out, you know. And a big old house here, but of course that looks as though that's turned into flats. As you can see, we've got 6 letterboxes on the front by the red door. Yeah. Back at the junction there, and a few shops. And we've got, we've got laser skin aesthetics training. There could be nails again. Unity Place up there. There was a small chapel of sorts there, just there, but next to it, there used to be Wensbury's second cinema. It was opened in 1926, and it was called the Savoy. It was a short-lived cinema actually, because it may have opened in 1926, but it in fact closed down in 1958, and I think it was demolished demolished in the 1970s. And yeah, we've still got a West Brom Building Society there in Albury. There's the old Barclays Bank. Silk Solicitors, I believe they've been around here for a while. So a lot of it, you've still got some of the old shops along here. As you can tell, the frontages at the top look 20s, 30s. There's one at the end looks even older. And doesn't it look like a pub, Tim? It looks like a pub, doesn't it? Next to Capricorn Interiors. This street here is called Low Town. An unusual name for a street really, but as you can see it's now cut off because of the Oldbury Ringway. It was said that this was a hive of activity with its houses and its shops. Look at it now, eh? Car parks. A famous person, singer and composer, was Jack Judge, who originated from these parts here in Low Town. Jack Judge would go on to compose a song called A Long Way to Tipperary, which was probably the most famous marching tune of all in the First World War. We're coming to the bottom of Birmingham Street now. We've got a few estate agents along here, and there's a pub just on the corner or a little bit further on along this main road called the George. I think that closed in 2021. There was the old police station just over there. And this used to be the Magistrates' Court, I think. Now it's a big storage place. Empty shop there on the corner. We've got a few estate agents here. And we've got a nail bar here. You've got one of them, haven't you? And we've got Dream Hair and Beauty next door to it. Yeah, and Coleman Gentlemen's Hairdressers. As you drive along this main road here, I often saw Coleman's Hairdressers, and I've been there years, and I thought, I wonder if he's still open, and yeah, he's still here. There's a few estate agents along the bottom end of Birmingham Street. We've got Simpson Street over there, Yeah, that looks like another vape shop there. And yeah, got some massaging going on. And a pizza parlour. Yeah, so you got your essentials, haven't you? Tattoo shop. It's amazing how many tattoo stores suddenly sprung up overnight. I've just noticed as well, Silks have had solicitors' offices here in Albury for years. I've just noticed a sign on it now saying they've moved. It's still in Albury, just down the road, but they're no longer on Birmingham Street any longer. Silk solicitors, eh? Been there years. Used to be I think Silks used to be one of the chairmen of West Bromwich Albion back in the day. It's a big corner they've got, but I don't think it's open. I don't think it's trading anymore. It's a very old building, specialising in skin of colour. Not sure there's much of a take up there because it's well, it's not trading, is it? There's an nail bar over there. Oh, crikey, how many more nail bars? We've got a smart barber, we've got a Turkish barber here. So again, it looks like Albury are also plagued with nail bars and Turkish barbers. Must be at least half a dozen or so. You can see that we've got a closer view here of the junction, and you can see it is in a pretty bad state of repair now. And it really does need somebody to come along. And this is the building ahead of me, which was the building of the first branch of Lloyd's Bank that opened there in 1846. Yeah, it was there. It was there for until 2005. So it was there a long time. Yeah, that was the original Lloyd's Bank building, the first ever Lloyd's Bank, and it was here in Albury. Yeah, just beyond these railings here of the Junction pub, Lloyd's Bank created a fountain, and in 1882 it was for members of the public and for the horses. And but sadly it got demolished in 1949, but the main part of the statue was broken, so they just pulled it down. Just take you along Unity Place here. White's the pharmacy here. I think they moved. I think they was up the other end of Birmingham Street. But there's the Albury Health Centre just over there. As we pan round here, you can see the clinic, which is another nail bar. If I just take you here on the corner here, where it was White's, it used to be the post office. And next to it there's a very old building there which got the co-op, and oh gosh, another hair place there next to the co-op, funeral care. And back in the day it used to be something called Maypole. Where we got Innovate there, it was the Bull's Head just there, the Bull's Head pub. Bull's Head pub, long gone. One of many pubs that used to be in Albury. And we've got we've got the Bookies, and we've got another nail shop next to Bedford. And next to the nail shop we've got William Hill. Oh gosh, we can't believe the amount of nail bars we got, and Bookies, amazing. The post office now is in front of me. There's the main post office for Albury. Let's just have another look at the old town hall ahead. We've got the news agency here on my left, and what we got here is something called the Crown. It's a barber. Yeah, it's another barber. And if you look over there to the right, it's all tree lined now, but of course that was where Sainsbury's built their huge supermarket, with parking to the left for about 2 million cars. Yeah. So yeah, this is the terminus for the buses that come into Albury. This is Canal Street, and to my left here you can see it will go into the lower part of Albury's Birmingham Road. Birmingham Street. But the significance of Canal Street is that it's named after the fact that the Birmingham Canal used to run along all the way around Oldbury. The spur of this canal from the Birmingham Canal now has been closed off, and it's very difficult to find any traces of where the canal used to be. Okay then folks, so we'll leave it at that, and yeah, as I say, if anybody who's come to this area from 60s and 70s, you'll have noticed an enormous change. Sainsbury's apparently saved the economic fortunes of Oldbury. It's a shame that a supermarket has to do that, but that's the way life is now, isn't it? But Oldbury is still vibrant, and I think really it's because of the supermarket itself. But anyway, if you like the video, just hit the like button and hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for future videos, and I'll see you on the next one.